Hello again and welcome to Rotten Donut. Today we're returning to Silent Hill F to explore one of its darkest and most enigmatic endings, the so-called bad ending known as Fox's Wedding. To reach this outcome, the player must meet very specific conditions. Completely avoid taking the red capsules that Shu gives to Hinako. As we saw in the first ending, they do no good. Obtain the Agura in the Dark Shrine, and purify the sacred sword if it has been acquired during the playthrough. Interestingly, the Agura only appears in New Game Plus within the Hermitage of Crimson Water, and collecting it marks a point of no return. Once obtained, Hinako's fate is sealed. But what does this object really mean, and why is it so crucial for the Fox's wedding? To understand, we need to look beyond the game itself, and delve into the history of the Tsuneki family, the lineage to which Hinako belongs. The past of the Tsuneki clan is revealed in scattered fragments, letters, diaries, and ancient mandates that have withstood the test of time. Among them, the mandate of the clan dictates a tradition as sacred as it is cruel. Every 8 years, a young maiden had to be offered as a sacrifice. But not just any maiden would suffice. Her blood had to be blessed by the stars. This phrase, shrouded in mystery, can be interpreted in several ways. A supernatural reading suggests that the Chosen One acts as a bridge between mortals and the divine, a sacred sacrifice that maintains the clan's balance. A more realistic interpretation adds a fascinating nuance. The blood blessed by the stars could correspond to an extraordinarily rare biological mutation, a genetic condition found in only a handful of individuals. This natural rarity renders the young woman an inevitable candidate to fulfill the role of the sacrifice, as if her very existence connects the mortal world with forces that transcend it. This is why such births are exceptional, uncommon, and their destiny seems sealed from the very beginning. Their blood defines their role in the clan's tradition and their connection to the continuity of the lineage. In both cases, blood is power, condemnation, and destiny, and each sacrifice ensures the clan's continuity. For Hinako, this means that even her biology is part of the clan's conflict, reflecting in her very flesh the tension between inheritance, duty, and freedom. Among the diaries and ruins of the Dark Shrine, the whispers of a forgotten divine war can be discerned. Two presences dominate the town's history: the Kyubi, the nine-tailed fox, a symbol of prosperity and desire, and the Tsukumogami, spirits born from objects abandoned by time who protect the weak and warn of danger. In our story, the Tsukumogami manifest in Hinako's doll, an object that accompanied her since childhood and was later forsaken, yet retains the memory of being cherished and the resentment of being forgotten. It is not a simple toy, it is a reflection of Hinako's ideals, her freedom, her autonomy, and her rebellion against an imposed destiny. From the game's very first scene, the doll accompanies her, warns her of threats like Rinko or the Fox Mask, and reappears during crucial moments, reminding her of her true identity and acting as a guide to protect her most authentic essence. Even when Hinako confronts the Dark Shrine and the vows imposed by tradition, the presence of the Tsukumogami suggests that not all gods seek her destruction. Some, like this deity of ancient objects, seek to save her from a fate that both society and the clan are trying to force upon her. To fully understand the meaning of the Fox's wedding ending, we must first understand the divine conflict that shaped Ebisugaoka's fate. Long before Hinako's story began, the land was home to two rival faiths. The first worshipped the Tsukumogami, ancient spirits born from forgotten objects, a faith preserved at the Sennensugi Shrine, built around a sacred cedar known as the Divine Tree. The second venerated the Kyubi, the nine-tailed fox, celestial patron of prosperity and divine authority, enshrined at the Inari Temple. But when lightning struck the ancient cedar, destroying the Sennensugi Shrine, the villagers believed the spirit had lost its power. Seeking new guidance, they merged their faith with the cult of the fox god. From that fusion came corruption. The Tsukumogami, abandoned and betrayed, turned against the Inari deity. What once was balance between humility and divinity became rivalry, and the curse of that broken pact echoed through generations of the Tsuneki bloodline. The doll that follows Hinako embodies this ancient grudge. It despises the Fox clan and wishes to prevent the wedding, not to protect Hinako's happiness, but to ensure that the Fox god never claims her as a vessel. For the Tsukumogami, Hinako is not a simple mortal. She is a child blessed by divinity, a rare soul whose blood once maintained the balance between gods. Every 8 years, the Tsuneki clan performed a ritual offering such a maiden to appease the wrath of the divine waters. Hinako's birth marks the last of these cycles. Her blood, blessed by the stars, carries both the legacy of the Kyubi and the resentment of the Tsukumogami. She is both sacrifice and battleground, human and divine, carrying within her the echo of an ancient war. That's why in the Fox's wedding, what seems like a love story twisted by fate is actually something much deeper. The ceremony is not merely a marriage, it is the reconciliation of gods through human suffering, the sealing of a divine pact through Hinako's submission. While the Kyubi seeks her obedience, the Tsukumogami urges rebellion. Between them stands Hinako, torn between the preservation of her clan and the preservation of herself. Her story is not one of salvation or madness, but of a girl forced to choose which god she will betray. If we delve into the game's scenes, we can see how Junko, when confronting the version of Hinako that is childlike and rebellious, wonders how a spirit like her has come so far. The scene itself confirms that behind it all was the Tsukumogami spirit, embodied in Hinako's doll, appearing on Junko's shoulder. Here we witness a confrontation between the two Hinakos. One represents the part of her that internalized obedience and submission, forcing her to yield, while the other embodies rebellion, possessed by the Tsukumogami spirit. The struggle between them isn't physical, it's a confrontation of divine forces, Tsukumogami versus Kami. The tragedy is sealed when Fox Mask offers the elixir Agura, a potion said to cleanse one from demonic possession. The irony is brutal. What the clan sees as a demon is, in truth, the very essence of Hinako, her childhood and her longing for freedom. By accepting the elixir, her rebellious self is exorcised, leaving behind only Fox Hinako, an empty, submissive version of who she once was. However, Shu has always been a constant thread in Hinako's story. He returns once more, suddenly attacking Kotoyuki in a desperate attempt to save her. But this time, Hinako steps in to protect Fox Mask instead, showing that even if the future is uncertain, she's chosen to trust it. It's here that Shu's true motives finally come to light. Those same pills that led to the tragedy in the first playthrough were never meant to harm her. Shu simply couldn't stand the idea of Hinako getting married. Their final exchange is both heartbreaking and symbolic. Shu embodies the past, nostalgia, guilt, and everything Hinako has already outgrown. As the Tsukumogami takes shape in this last battle, it becomes painfully clear what he represents: the forgotten. Hinako no longer feels anything for him. She's accepted her fate, and Shu is left behind. Just another lost object in her memories, like Kotoyuki once was. By putting an end to the Tsukumogami version of Shu, Hinako frees herself from her greatest burden, the weight of friendship, and accepts the act of forgetting him. It also becomes clear that both Kotoyuki and Shu loved Hinako, yet treated her like an object, deciding her fate as if she were their possession.
Kotoyuki, I'm counting on you to look after my partner for a while.
It will be for more than a while, I assure you.
If you ever make my Hinako unhappy, I'll beat you to a pulp.
Hinako belongs to me. She is no longer yours.
No way! She's my partner, so she's always mine. I'm just lending her to you.
Stop treating me like an object.
In the post-credits scene, we hear Kotoyuki's voice. The moment likely takes place shortly after the wedding, as he mentions that it's cold. Since the ceremony happened in October 1962, the chill in the air suggests the autumn season, just after the wedding. A calm yet eerily unsettling atmosphere, quiet, but filled with a sense that something is deeply wrong. We see that Hinako has fully embraced her new role as Shiramuku, the Fox's Bride. This ending shows that the true sacrifice isn't physical, but psychological. The loss of identity, childhood, and personal freedom. The original Hinako no longer exists, replaced by a figure who lives only to fulfill the destiny imposed upon her. And all that remains of her rebellion is her face, literally lying on the floor, screaming in despair, begging not to become like her mother. It's a tragic and emotionally heavy ending. Hinako is no longer herself. Her life is now defined by the expectations of her clan and society. Though everyone survives physically, the emotional loss is devastating. The bad ending could be interpreted in two ways. In essence, it is a metaphor for forced adulthood and the renunciation of the self, intertwined with ancient beliefs, and this is what makes it so striking. This ending blurs the line between reality and ancestral faith, where the real and the illusory mix seamlessly. So far, it stands as one of the most twisted conclusions in the story, full of mysticism, beliefs, and Hinako's very real fears. The second, more mythological but also very plausible reading is that the Tsukumogami spirit attempted to sabotage Hinako's wedding with the Tsuneki clan at every turn, trying to ensure that the clan's curse would continue as a form of vengeance for the decay of the Divine Tree's creed, with Inari prevailing in this ending. And that's it for the explanation of the second ending. Honestly, this ending is pretty twisted, and it was quite a challenge trying to piece together all the gods and spirits in this game. Above all, I want to sincerely thank you for all the support on the previous video. I really appreciate it. And as we say here at Rotten Donut, a promise is a promise. We've now proudly displayed our first Super Chat alongside our console collection, like another trophy in the showcase. Thanks again for all your support, and if you're not yet part of this amazing community that grows a little more every day, make sure to subscribe to Rotten Donut for more content like this. See you in the next video!